Welcome to the Thriving in Her Purpose podcast, the podcast for purpose-driven women who know they are called to more. I'm your host, Krystle Austin, breakthrough and empowerment coach, counselor, author, speaker, and your guide on a journey from unfulfilled and spiritually stifled to aligned, activated, and abundant. Each episode will bridge the gap between belief and bold action so you can break barriers, silence self-doubt, and confidently walk in the power originally intended for you. You're not waiting on victory, you're walking in it. Let's get into it. Hey friends, it's Krystle Austin here, your host of the Thriving in Her Purpose podcast. Have you ever looked in the mirror and smiled on the outside, but deep down, you were silently judging yourself? Or maybe you've replayed a moment from your past so many times it feels like a permanent stain on your soul. If you've ever thought, I should be further along by now, or if they really knew me, they wouldn't like me, this episode is for you. Today we're saying goodbye to judgment, shame, and the lies that keep you stuck, and we're trading them in for grace, truth, and radical self-love. Because you don't have to earn worthiness. You already are worthy. Let's talk about it. We are in a season of making moves that matter. We are no longer just sitting back and waiting for things to happen. We are taking action and implementing steps that help us move forward. That includes taking action on letting go of some things. Two of the most toxic things we experience and hold on to that destroys us is judgment and shame. What I mean is how we judge ourselves and allow shame to beat us down. But no more of that. What is judgment and shame? You may even be doing it without even realizing what you are doing. Judgment is a mental verdict we place on ourselves or others that says, you're not good enough, worthy enough, or doing enough. It's often rooted in fear, comparison, pride, or insecurity, and it separates us from compassion. You become your own harshest critic or someone else's silent accuser. It sounds like, she should know better. I should be further along. I can't believe I did that. Shame is a deep, painful belief that says, there's something wrong with me. It's not just about what you've done. It's about who you believe you are because of it. Shame isn't guilt over an action. It's the lie that your whole identity is flawed, broken, or unlovable because of it. Just to give you a quick comparison, guilt says, I did something wrong. Shame says, I am something wrong. Judgment says, you're not good enough and never will be. Judgment and shame is toxic to ourselves and our relationship with God. It distorts truth, damages identity, and disconnects us from the very relationship meant to heal us, our relationship with God. Let me say this. God loves us so much. When we have judgment and shame in our hearts, it separates us from God working within us. It separates us from the essence of who we really are. It becomes a block that keeps God from expressing himself in our lives. God is love. As long as we keep this judgment and shame in our hearts, we can't experience the fullness of God's love, and we can't give that type of love to others that God intended. Here are more reasons to let go of the judgment and shame. They create a false identity. Judgment says, you'll never be enough. Shame says, you were never enough to begin with. These inner voices don't just critique your actions, they redefine your identity. Instead of seeing yourself through the lens of grace and growth, you see yourself through failure, fear, and flaw. Judgment and shame don't just speak about you, they speak for you. And when you let them narrate your life, you start to believe those lies. Lies that were never meant to be part of your identity. They distort God's character. When we're stuck in judgment and shame, we often project those feelings onto God. We think, he must be disappointed in me. He's probably tired of me messing up. I need to fix this before I go to him. But that's not how God is. God doesn't love a future perfected version of you. He loves the real presented you, the one still healing, the one still figuring it out. I can say that I struggle with this one a lot. I have even spoken on the podcast about overcoming perfectionism. I felt that I needed to be perfect. I need to get everything right, or God will be disappointed in me. But God loves us no matter what. Judgment and shame hinders intimacy with God. Shame makes us hide. It says, don't let God see you like this. Judgment builds walls. It says, God is holy. You are not. Stay distant. But that separation isn't coming from God. It's coming from the lies we believe about him and about ourselves. God isn't afraid of your mess. He wants to meet you in it. Judgment and shame also paralyzes purpose. When women are stuck in judgment and shame, they don't show up boldly. They shrink. They disqualify themselves before anyone else has the chance. That voice in their head saying, "Who do you think you are?" is the same one keeping them stuck. You can't fulfill a bold purpose with a silenced spirit. You'll never walk confidently in your calling while secretly believing you're unworthy of it. Also, judgment and shame keeps you from receiving love. You can't fully receive what you believe you don't deserve. Judgment and shame cause women to reject compliments, dismiss opportunities, and even sabotage relationships. God's love can't flow freely through a heart changed by self-condemnation. Growing up in a religious church, I've seen and heard the pain of condemnation. So much to a point when it becomes their identity. But when you break those chains, his love rushes in. So know this, shame is not your inheritance. It's a learned emotion. Shame and self-condemnation are not from God. They were taught through experiences, systems, or people that projected their brokenness. Shame is not your truth, and it's time that you edit that narrative. Judgment thrives where compassion is missing. Often we judge ourselves and others when we haven't yet learned to offer grace. Releasing judgment starts with receiving grace. Ask yourself this: where have I withheld compassion from myself? Where have I repeated harsh inner narratives? And you cannot heal what you are still hiding. Shame convinces us to stay silent or appear together for others. But real healing comes through truth-telling and safe vulnerability. Healing requires exposure. What have you been hiding that needs the light of truth and love? Even if that means admitting it to yourself. God never used shame as a teaching tool. People did. Distinguish between conviction, which invites us into alignment, versus shame, which chains us to the past. Conviction says, you're better than this. Shame says, you'll never be more than this. And stop trying to outperform shame. You can't earn worthiness. You already are. Here is an affirmation you can practice. I am not what I do. I am who God created me to be, whole, chosen, and still becoming. So release the judge within. Inner healing requires us to not only forgive others, but to stop acting as judge, jury, and executioner over ourselves. Let the version of you off the stand. And freedom starts when you say, I'm done carrying this. Walking in freedom is a decision, not a feeling. It's okay to put it down today. You don't need shame to grow, and you don't need judgment to be better. You need truth, grace, and a new story. There is something you could turn to that makes it easier than just fighting those thoughts. So what do? Turn to love. Love yourself. Love others. Open your heart to receive love from God. Many times we consciously or subconsciously believe that we don't deserve love or we have to earn it. You don't earn God's love. It is freely given. You just have to open your heart to receive. And knowing that you are part of God, made in His image, you have God's love within you. You are to spread that love to yourself and others. Reframe self-love as a radical act of obedience. Loving yourself isn't vanity. It's spiritual maturity. It's saying, I agree with what God says about me, even when I don't feel it yet. It's not to disregard your pain or ignore accountability. It's about aligning with God's truth and your worth, which demands self-love. Insert self-love as an antidote to shame. Every time shame whispers, you're not enough, self-love answers, I am worthy right now, even as I grow. Stop rehearsing your worst moments and start nurturing your worth. Ask yourself this: if I truly loved myself, how would I speak to myself differently? What would I no longer tolerate from myself or others? Affirm self-love to reflect divine love. The way you love yourself reflects how well you receive God's love for you. You are not separate from His compassion. You are the object of it. Your healing, purpose, and peace aren't performance-based. They're promise-based. And as I wrap up here is what I want you to do today. Speak one truth over yourself today and let it be louder than the lies of shame. Something like, I am worthy of love, even from myself. You can write a love letter to yourself or look in the mirror and speak one affirmation daily. Remember this: you're not weak for needing grace. We all need grace. You're wise for choosing love, especially your own. Truly accept yourself, love yourself, choose yourself. It doesn't matter what the past looks like. It doesn't matter what you did. And I'm talking to myself too here. Learn from it and choose not to carry it around as a burden on your shoulders. Instead of judgment and shame, choose love. God loves you unconditionally. Love yourself unconditionally. When you do that, your life will begin to flourish in a way you have never seen. Choose grace, truth, and love. Until next time, bye for now. If today's episode spoke to your spirit, take a moment and share this with another woman who's ready to stop shrinking and start stepping fully into her purpose. If you're ready to go deeper and take action towards the life you were called to live, let's stay connected. Follow me on Instagram at @Iam_Krystle Austin or Facebook or LinkedIn at Krystle Austin. And if you're done playing small and ready to rise fully into alignment, confidence, and purpose, join me inside my signature coaching program, where faith meets strategy and transformation begins. Until next time, remember, you're not behind, you're being built. Your purpose is still alive, still needed, and still possible. So, let's thrive.